Welcome to this week's video email called Helping You Stay in the Know so you don't have to read every report yourself. I hope you've had a good week. Mine has been relatively quiet, which has given me time to get my head down and start tackling the mountain of overdue tasks on my desk. As a diversion to all of this, I took some time out to read a couple of recent research reports, one of which is discussed here in this email. As you know, at Diversitybuds, our first mission is simple. It's to raise awareness. Because before we can change anything, our habits, our environment, our systems, we have to notice what's really happening. If we're not aware, we can't even begin to act. That's the reason why I make time to read through reports and research, and why I love sharing what I find with you. I know your time is tight and your minds are already full with the pressures of each day. Therefore, if I can help you feel more speedily informed, aware, connected and confident, I feel I can offer you something of value. This week I've been reading the Musical Senses Roundtable report, which explores how music education can better support children who are blind, visually impaired, deaf or hard of hearing. There's a lot of useful information to take in, but here are a few things that stop me in my tracks. Early years matter more than ever. The report makes it clear, by the time many children with access needs are offered meaningful musical support, the moment has already passed. It reminded me that what we do in the early years isn't just valuable, it's vital. Perhaps we need to pause and ask ourselves what early access really looks like and whether we are offering it to everyone in our groups. Representation isn't just important, it's essential. From role models to the choice of stories and songs, children notice everything. Representation helps build identity and confidence. The phrase that struck me was, knowing the student well is everything. And I couldn't agree more. That's the very basis of our premise, raising diversity awareness. And let's be honest, inclusion isn't always straightforward. So many of us want to be more inclusive, but the reality is training is limited. Many early years staff and even music specialists have never had detailed guidance on how to support children with visual or hearing impairment in music. The right tools aren't readily available. Knowing where to find large print scores, signing systems or braille resources takes time and know-how, and that's rarely built into any planning time. And music isn't always on the radar. In some EHCPs, education and health and care plans, legal documents outlining the extra support a child with special educational needs receives, music doesn't even get a mention. That sends a message that it's optional and not essential. Support is also often patchy, whether or not your setting has a music lead. The deeper issue is that many of us simply haven't had the chance to develop the skills we need for this kind of thoughtful, specific, person-centred inclusion. And that can leave even experienced educators feeling out of their depth. And here's the bit that really struck me. The report makes clear that the barriers children face, exclusion, lack of access, feeling invisible, are often a mirror of the barriers their educators face. Lack of support, lack of time, lack of specialist input. If we want to do better for children, we need to be honest about what's getting in our way too. One size fits all doesn't work and never has. A lot of our usual ideas like sound before symbol just don't hold true for all learners. For some deaf or hard of hearing children, reading notation might be their way in. This really challenged me to think differently about the paths into music we offer and who gets to define them. Tech can help, but relationships come first. There are amazing tools out there, from Braille music software to vibro-tactile tech. But what really shines through is the power of long-term relationships, trust and adaptability. No app or gadget can replace that. So my takeaway is that music isn't just a subject. It's a way for children to be seen, heard in all senses and understood. And that's what we're aiming for. So this week I'm asking myself, what's one small shift I could make to help every child feel more included in my music sessions? And maybe you'd like to ask yourself the same. Wishing you a good week ahead, and thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.